What's going on, guys? T Torres back here for another video. Before we get today's video started, I want to show you guys my new Ricky Bobby flag we got in the garage. If you ain't first, you're last. Thought that was a funny little garage piece. Alright, so the first thing, if you guys didn't know, I just bought a new 2022 Honda Grom, and we have exactly 122 miles on the odometer. And so the first thing we're going to be doing is the Chimera intake, and from a lot of different reviews, this is the one to go with. And this pipe is normally chrome or stainless, but this one's black, so I do like that. So we have that. We have the actual intake tube, the coupler, the piece that goes in between the fairing, and then we have a nice K&N K&N high flow air filter. So we're gonna go over exactly step by step on what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 bolts out of this plastic piece right here. Okay, and then to take these 3 out, you're going to use a 5mm Allen key. I've already loosened them off camera, so they're already pretty loose, so don't worry about that. And you need to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna off camera get both of these taken care of, and then I'll show you us removing the actual plastic piece itself. All right, so we have all 6 of the 3 on each side removed. There is 2 Phillips head screws. Looks like we have to remove one, if it'll focus. There's one here, and then there's one towards the bottom. I believe that's also holding this on, and it'll be the exact same thing on the other side. All right, so in the last clip, like I said, you got to move these 2 black bolts that line up with the fairing on this plastic side up here. And then you have a couple clips that you need to remove. I'm going to hopefully demonstrate on the other side exactly how we did that. So let's come over here, do that number. And I just gently started to pry this and tried to separate it. You heard that was a clip. Okay, now I'm gonna work my hand down through the bottom. Maybe. Okay, so that was probably a little bit more harsh than I wanted it to be, but I literally just pulled back a little bit and pulled up, and then it allowed it to come out. Like I said, you got to get these blue tabs to come out of this socket right here, and then she'll come right out. And then now we should be able to have complete access to the airbox. Alrighty, so keep in mind I've never done this before, so I'm kind of just going with what I see. So it looks like we have a Phillips head that is directly connected to the box, and then I think on the opposite side we also have 2 more that we have to take off. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off, and then once we get to the other side, I'll show you, I think, 2 or 3 screws that Phillips said that we need to remove on that side. All right, so like I mentioned, it looks like we have a Phillips head here, and then there's one down in the plastic, a black one, and a 3rd one right here. So we have 2 silver ones, and then 1 black one that we need to remove. So let's go ahead and get that off now. Okay, so as you just saw, we just removed the 3 screws on that side, and then they are 2 10mm bolts holding the airbox on, 1 on each side. So we're gonna take our 10 and we're gonna go ahead and crack this puppy loose. And just a side note, like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm not sure, but if we have to, we may have to remove this on both sides of the bike. Not sure yet. Like I mentioned, there's one also on the direct opposite side of the bike, and that's going to equal to 2 10mm bolts that need to be removed off of the factory airbox. Whoops. All right, the next step is there's a sensor right here that needs to get unplugged. So we're going to unplug that, and then somehow I'm going to put my fat hands in there. Let me see if I can get some good lighting in there. Anyways, it's literally this plug right where my finger's at that needs to be unplugged. All right, so we got a special guest today. I got my childhood best friend. He's gonna be helping me install the intake on the Grom. Right now, what he's doing is he's removing there's a little clip that goes to the breather tube. He's gonna loosen that up, and we're gonna get that off. And I don't know if you can see, but the intake is extremely loose already. So we gotta get that off. And then there's one more piece of the actual plastic pipe that we need to get off. Okay, so the first mistake that I made is that I stripped the head of this Phillips head out. So what Bradley and I did, we just took this clamp and we used some snips and cut it. And then now we should be able to get the actual intake tube off and then get the entire air filter box out, because everything is completely loose now. Okay, off camera, I just took my two pointer fingers and pushed this up and over. And then now I've got to figure out, let me come over there to this side, and the air box should come out. We have this line right here that needs to be removed. And we already removed the breather hose. Bradley got that off camera. And then let's remove this wire. Now we're just fighting the rubber. Come on. Okay, so here you have it. The factory airbox is now out. So one thing you want to do is you want to take these two Phillips screws very carefully. Don't strip them out like we did that clamp. And we're going to go ahead and take this and put it on to the new pipe. And I believe the new pipe comes with supplied hardware. We may or may not be using this. I'll let you know in just a second. Okay, so this video got a little out of whack because of the original intake that I had bought off Amazon was the incorrect Chimera intake. So I got the right one now from DH Motoring. Big shout out to them. Yeah, see, everything looks a lot different already. Cannon filter. And one of the reasons why mine wasn't gonna work was because the bend on this pipe was incorrect, the one off Amazon, and I didn't have the extension for the sensor, which is a huge piece that we need. So if you guys are interested in getting this intake from DH Motoring, I'll have a link down in the description. And literally, I have everything else already torn apart, so we're gonna get this intake on and get this puppy on and get fired up. I'm having withdrawals from not driving my Grom. All right, so I now have the Chimera coupler on. I have the first clamp tightened, and then we're gonna leave this one loose until we install the actual elbow piece. All right, so the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you wanna come over here to the factory airbox, and we need to transfer this sensor from the factory airbox onto the new Chimera intake. So let's go ahead and get a Phillips head and get this removed. All right, so as you can see here, the sensor is now switched over, and now you want to take the adapter piece, and you're going to want to go ahead and let's go ahead and plug this puppy in. Okay, that's not the correct side. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, and then let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put the filter on, and then we'll put this piece in. Okay, intake portion is now done. That is it's so funny how small it is. I'm used to working on big intakes on cars and trucks. But so now it's a very tight fit. We're gonna get this thing in there. Let me get you guys set up on the tripod, and we'll get this bad boy installed. Okay, so I found it a lot easier to for the breather hose. I took this back off, connected the breather hose, and sat the intake where I wanted. And then I came over here with the extension side of the plug, and make sure that you connect your sensor. So let's go ahead and tighten the other coupler on the intake, and then put the actual filter on, and we should be getting very, very, very close to starting the bike up for the first time. Alrighty, here is the first look at the 2022 Honda Grom with the Chimera intake from DH Motoring, and the fitment is pretty tight, but it looks super clean. I can't wait to put the fenders back on and fire this puppy up and see what she sounds like. And I also I also have an exhaust that we're going to be installing in a separate video. So it's kind of be a 2-for-1 today on Saturday. We'll do intake, we'll go for a ride a little bit, see how it does, and then we'll throw the exhaust on and see how the Chimera does with the exhaust when it comes to power, etc. So I'm gonna get the fenders back on, or the plastics. We'll roll it outside, start it up, and see what she sounds like, and then I'm gonna take it for a ride. Alrighty, all the plastics are now back on the bike. Super simple to take these plastics on and off. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder than what it is. So here is your first look at what the intake looks like on the 2022 Grom. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Can't really see much from this side, but I'll try to give you a nice little view. All right, so let's go ahead and fire the bike up and see what she sounds like. She's in neutral. Not too bad, can't really notice the difference just yet. We're gonna take off and take it for a ride here in a little bit. We'll let it get warmed up and then we'll do some revs. Okay, bike is now warmed up. Let's give it some revs. Oh wow, that's a huge sound difference. You hear that? It's definitely a lot more throatier. Definitely sounds a lot different. So yeah, that is the intake that's the intake install on the 2022 Honda Grom, the Chimera intake. It came from DH Motoring. Big shout out to you for hooking me up. I bought the wrong product. I hit him up. He had me one sent out in the mail the very next day. So we also have an exhaust to install on the bike as well. And I think, look, the bike only has 122 miles on it. So we're not wasting no time. We're getting straight down to business with intake, exhaust. We're also going to be getting tuned by DH Motoring, so I'm going to show you guys how to remove the ECU, get it tuned, send it off. He's going to send it back, all that good stuff. But I'm about to take this bike for a little burn, see how she does, and let the bike cool off, and then we'll come back, install the exhaust, and yeah, we got a lot of cool content coming for the channel with the Grom. Of course, we got Ricky Bobby in the garage. So anyways, if you're stopping to the channel for the first time, please leave this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.